it's Nicola Bird here from alittlepeaceofmind.co.uk. So today I wanted to create a video about a question I get asked a lot, often, which is, or comes up in conversation, which is, there's something I want to do but I'm not doing it, right? Like it might be, if you're anxious, it might be going out of the house or going back to work or spending more time with your kids or like whatever, right? If you're not anxious, it might be something around I want to exercise more, or I want to eat better, or I want to call my mum more, or whatever it is, right? And there are things that we do that we wish we didn't. Like I wish I didn't drink all that wine, or I wish I didn't have panic attacks, or I wish I didn't have repetitive behaviours or intrusive thoughts. I wish I didn't eat cake all the time, right? Whether you're anxious or not, like you can relate to this, right? It's a really human experience. And so what I've got for you this week is like a double metaphor, so bear with me, right? But so firstly, I want you to imagine, you know those plastic things you had when you were a kid, right? So they're like a little square, and on that square there's plastic tiles, and there's one gap. And in the gap, and the thing makes a picture, right? But you have to move the plastic tiles around. They must have had a name, right? But you move the plastic tiles around, and when you get them in the right place, they make a picture, right? And so there's so many, I don't know how many, you can probably work it out, but like so many varieties of in which order these plastic tiles can show up, right? So just bear that in mind to start with. I was going to get one, but I'm on a bit of an anti-plastic thing at the moment, so I do want to just buy more tat to show you and then throw in the oceans, right? So that's my political bit out of the way. So imagine one of these plastic things, right? Hopefully you've all come across them. Now, what I want to show with you, and I'll bring it back to the plastic thing, is I have a flip chart for you today. So I wanted to show you this, see if I can get it up here. Other way of thinking about this, right? So in this matrix, I need to move back, but then you might not be able to hear me. This matrix, and it basically says here, things I do, things I don't do, things I want to do, and things I don't want to do, right? And in our lives, things kind of fall into these matrices, right? So there are things that I do that I want to do. So sometimes I want to bake beautiful cakes, and I bake beautiful cakes. Like I want to be here right now creating this video, so I am, right? Don't give it too much thought. We are doing what we want to do most of the time, right? And then there are things that I want to do that I don't do, like exercising more, like, I'm trying to think, things that I want to do that I don't do. Yeah, probably calling my parents more, taking the kids on big adventures more, stuff like that, right? Like you will all have examples of it. Traveling to India, right? I love to go and travel to India. It's on my bucket list. I've always wanted to do it. I want to do it. I don't seem to find myself doing that at the moment. There are things that I don't want to do that I do, right? So at the moment, I don't really want to drink wine, but sometimes I am, which is weird, right? I don't want to have a messy office. My God, if you could see, you get this one backdrop when I do my videos, it's because it's the only place I can't actually put any clutter. But like, I don't want to do messy offices, but yet that seems to be what's happening, right? And there are things that I don't do that I don't want to do over here. So I don't want to punch my postman on the nose, so I don't. Right? I don't give it too much thought, but it doesn't seem to be happening, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to stick my fingers up and turn this video off in a half, so I probably won't, right? Like it's stupid examples, but you can think of your own examples that fit into all of these matrices. So now, what I get with clients is there's stuff here that I want to do that I'm not doing, Nick. How do I shift it over here? And this is where we come back to the plastic thing. What am I going to call it? A slidey game, right? So the slidey game. And our tiles are arranged in a certain way by something other than us, right? So I do want to drink coffee and I don't want to drink tea, right? Like that's not on me really. Really? I don't get to choose which one I prefer. I prefer vanilla ice cream and not so much chocolate, right? I don't choose that. But something other than me has, if you like, I know we're stretching this metaphor, but like places the tiles on the Slidey game in all the different areas, right? And we come to our coaches or our therapists or our friends, and we say, I want to move, I want to slide it that way. And I keep trying, and I've bought all the books and I've done all the techniques, and I want to slide my slidey tile from here into here. And I'm trying really, can you help me? Right? Can you help me do it? And the answer is always no, because it's not on us. It's not on us. But the cool thing is that where these tiles lie on the Slidey game, right, is a product of thought. Like the idea that I can't do something or that I'm not doing something, the stories we tell about what we do and don't do, how the world looks to us, what looks possible in one moment, because it's made of thought, can shift and change. It's like, I'm going to use the G word, right? But it's like God is in charge of the tiles, right? Or universe, or spirit, or energy, or whatever, something other than us. And that those tiles move, and because our experience is created by thought, sometimes I want to speak from stages and I'm doing it. Sometimes I want to speak from stages and yet I feel like I can't because I'm too scared. And sometimes I don't want to speak from stages and I don't do it. And sometimes I don't want to speak from stages and I do it. Right? So the tile can be in any portion of the Slidey game. It can move all around the matrix. And it varies because it's made of thought. The whole, like, how life looks in this moment is a creation of thought that says this is how the Slidey game looks today, in this moment. And 5 seconds later the tiles can shift. And something we wanted to do 2 minutes ago, we no longer want to. Or something we didn't want to do 2 minutes ago, suddenly we find ourselves doing and enjoying. It's not on us. That's what I want you to take from this video, is that the Slidey game has a gap. So the tiles can move, and they do. But you can't force them to move. You can't force yourself to get something out of the cannot do this, really want to do it, but I just can't, into the other side. Like, you can't do that. But life shifts, life changes, our experience of it changes through thought. And because there's the gap in the Slidey game, every single piece has the opportunity to be moved in some way, shape or form. So what it seems to me is that I can spend any moment without understanding. I can spend every moment trying to shift the tiles on the Slidey game. I don't like this, I don't want this. The same as it is with what we're doing, the same with what we're feeling. Like, I don't want to feel this, but I am. I want to feel this way, but I'm not. And we're trying. And you know, like when you push them, if you remember those games, they get stuck, right? And they get wedged and they don't move, and then the whole thing gets jammed up, and then we get really frustrated with it. We can't play with it anymore. It's not fun anymore. And so we can either spend our time trying to shuffle the tiles around so they fit into the right matrices on the chart, or we can just know that this is how it is, that life somehow, in a way that we can't possibly understand, has set the matrix up this way for this moment, this heartbeat, through thought, like this for now, in this moment. Nothing we can do to change it. And so what happens now is I don't bother trying to shift the tiles. I know they'll shift. They always do. We can watch our experience. We can watch ourselves over the course of an hour and see how much the tiles shift on their own without us doing a thing. Even while we just, literally, if you sit there in a chair for an hour, you'll see how you want to sit in the chair for an hour and 10 minutes later you really don't, right? And you might stay sitting in the chair or you might get up. Like even that tile moves around the matrix if you try and do that for an hour. You'll see how not in control of that you are. And rather than that being frightening and scary and depressing and, oh God, what's the point of life? It's like we get to rest. We get to give up the struggle. We get to stop cutting our fingers as we're trying to push and it all gets jammed, living in the frustration of trying to slide the slidey game. And when we stop trying to rearrange the slidey game, there's the peace you've been looking for all along. You get to be here now in this version of the slidey game while knowing absolutely 100% that that's going to change in the next moment and the next moment and the next moment and the next moment. And we become more of a witness to life, and life becomes there to be enjoyed. Really simple, right? Not to be manipulated, not to have it be changed, not it will be better if. We just get to be here now in this moment, however the tiles are arranged on the slidey game. So I'm hoping that the chart and the slidey game are helpful to you wherever you are this week. Let me know in the comments. As usual, I'll be back with you with another video again next week. Take care.